breakfast.
So long since I've been out.
Hi, I'm back downtown. I didn't really get to talk through all of the windows very much as I was too busy catching up with my friend, but it wasn't quite as festive as it usually is. There were some good windows at Saks, and Bergdorf did a fun job on some of them, but otherwise it was pretty lackluster this year. The tree we couldn't get anywhere near, really. They could only let us within like a block or so of the tree. But I got some snaps of it from far away. You'll get to see. I'm not gonna have a tree this year, so I got a rather special wreath. I ordered it from Urban Stems. I've ordered things from them before, and it came relatively quickly, packaged very safely. There it is in the background. You will have seen the wreath that is on the outside of my door. I put the little twinkle lights on that last night. It looks really cute. So this is my wreath from Urban Stems. It's really pretty. It's got lavender in it, and I don't know what these little flowers are. These candula, I'm not sure. It's got some dried citrus, eucalyptus, It's got this really pretty sort of burlap bow on it. It's a lot smaller than I was expecting it to be, but it's really pretty, and especially when it first arrived, it was super, super fragrant. So it's a rather special wreath. I don't usually get something that's this decked out. I usually keep it more simple with just evergreen and some juniper maybe. I usually go to the floral district to get my wreaths because the vendors that sell on the streets in the city are super duper expensive. So I highly recommend the floral district if you live in the New York City area for great holiday decor that is much, much more affordable than from the vendors on the streets in the city. I just had a knock on the door and I opened it and it was the lovely people at Amazon, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what I had ordered from Amazon, but it turns out I didn't order anything. I posted on my stories about a book exchange. Actually, a friend posted on their stories about a book exchange, and all you have to do is send one book to one person, and you know, because it's sort of like a chain letter, you end up with all these books. And so my first books just started arriving. I'm so excited. So I thought I would just share what I got. The first one I got is called The Four Agreements, a Toltec wisdom book. It is a practical guide to personal freedom. It's by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it says, in the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs that rob us of joy and create needless suffering, based on ancient Toltec wisdom. I don't know if that's how you say it, but the Four Agreements offer a powerful code of conduct that can rapidly transform our lives to a new experience of freedom, true happiness, and love. So I'm really excited to read this. So great, because this is not the sort of thing that I would ever buy. I would, you know, most likely buy a novel, and I have to decide which book I'm going to send, because I have to send mine to Long Island, but I want to go to one of the independent bookstores in the neighborhood. Sorry, this position's probably a little awkward, but I had to put the camera down somewhere. So I want to go to one of the neighborhood bookstores and support my local. These came from Amazon. Oh, and this one, The Four Agreements, there was a note that says, annual book exchange, enjoy your gift. I personally love this gift and reference it often. Merry Christmas, from Moshe Katani. I don't know Moshe, but thank you so much. I'm very grateful, and I'm looking forward to reading this. The other book that I received is this one, a real classic, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude, winner of a Nobel Prize, and newly in Oprah's book club, I guess. I believe I read this in college. I'm so bad if a book really doesn't like grip me kind of immediately. I tend to start it and not finish it, and I think that maybe this is one of the books that I started and didn't finish. I don't exactly remember whether or not I finished it, but I guess I will find out when I start reading it again. So I'm definitely gonna give this another shot. Reading is something that I want to start doing a lot more of. I've always been a reader, but during the pandemic, every time I picked up a book to read, I just got sleepy. So I haven't really been keeping up with reading as much as I would like. I did do some reading over the summer, and currently I'm reading these two. I'm pretty close to the end of this one. This is All the Light We Cannot See. It also won a Pulitzer, and it's great. I really, really love this story. It's Very long though. The book is, I think, about 500 pages. Yeah, it's a little over 500 pages, but it's really a beautiful, beautiful story, and so intricately told and set in, at least partially, in sort of a beautiful French, I think island. I think on an island. So this one is great, and I made a good dent in it yesterday when I was getting my hair done, and I'd like to finish this definitely before the end of the year. Then the other one I started more recently is, of course, the Elena Ferrante, My Brilliant Friend, that everybody's going crazy over. I'm almost about halfway through this, and it's not gripping me. It's not enticing me the way that I was hoping. And you know, these books just have such acclaim that I'm really gonna try to power through it because I want to understand why everybody loves them so much. So I'm gonna really try to power through this one, but excited to have 2 new books to read. Back from the grocery, I picked up a few weekly staples, and I'm going to make my favorite butternut squash mac and cheese. It's from Give Me Some Oven. I make like a batch of the sauce every few weeks, and then I keep it in the fridge and just heat it up as I need it, and it's so delicious and semi-guilt-free because squash is a vegetable, right? So it's sort of healthy, even if it does have a healthy dose of cheese. So I'm gonna make that, and I will show you the recipe, and I'll link it down below too. So what you'll need for this recipe is squash. I'm using a coconut squash. This is a sort of hybrid squash, and it was developed by Dan Barber, I believe, from Blue Hill Farm. You also need cheese. I've got 2 kinds here. This is the Beecher's Flagship, and then I also picked up something at Trader Joe's called Cheddar Gruyere, a melange cheese. That sounded really interesting. The sign said it was great for macaroni and cheese. I bet it is. You also need butter, garlic, chicken stock or vegetable stock, some kinds of stock. I keep this in the house. This is better than bouillon, and this is the vegetable one. I think if you're just like a sometimes cook, or you are a single person, or you know, a couple, and you're not going to use a lot of stock, sometimes you only need a cup of stock, and then you open a box of stock and the rest of it ends up going bad because you have to use it within basically a week or so. I really recommend this. You just mix it with some boiling water, and you have stock on demand. And then milk, I'm going to use this almond, cashew, macadamia nut beverage, also with some half and half mixed in for, you know, a good amount of creaminess. Butternut squash has 5 more minutes, so another package arrived this afternoon. I thought I'd quickly share. It's from Paper Mart, who I have ordered from many times, and it is just some holiday kind of packaging. Paper Mart has really great stuff that looks expensive, but it's not. The only thing is you have to kind of buy it somewhat in bulk. So I picked up these really cute gift bags that have like metallic foil trees on them, on burlap bags. I got 2 different sizes. I got bigger ones, and then I got smaller ones to put more like stocking stuffer type gifts in. And then I also ordered these boxes that I use all the time for my baked goods. So I have a little side hustle baking, and especially at the holidays, I'm baking a lot for friends and family, so I use these boxes. They come packaged flat, which is great for someone like me who doesn't have a lot of storage space, and then you just assemble them. They're in this really pretty soft pink color with like a circular cello window. They look really nice, and the backs are brown, and the backs are brown matte, and then the fronts are glossy, so it looks pretty nice together. So those are just a few little things that I ordered. I thought I'd show you. These actually, I would like to see what they look like out of the package. Let's look. We can finagle one out of there. Oh, these are really cute, and actually the quality feels really nice. I thought that they would be like super stiff and maybe kind of crunchy, but they're not actually. They're really nice. They had them in other colors too. They had the trees in red and green, but I liked the gold, and it just coordinates with some of the other holiday packaging that I purchased. So I'm very happy with those from Paper Mart, and I think the little bags were about 50 cents a piece, and the big ones were maybe $1 or so a piece. There's the buzzer for the squash. So let's see, the squash, it should be kind of fork tender. Just use a knife to test it. No, it's still, some of it's okay, but I'm gonna give it just like 2 more minutes. Okay, yikes, that was close. So I put all of the butternut squash and the cooking liquids in this 2-cup Pyrex measure, and lost a little on the counter there, but not too much. But boy, was it close. It is full to the tippity top. So then I'm gonna put this back in the pan and mix it with the milk and the cheese and the seasonings, and then the sauce will pretty much be done. I just have to boil the pasta. I should say that you're supposed to puree the squash in a blender, but I don't have a blender. I love how, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but leaving the skin on the squash gives you all these tiny little flecks throughout the sauce, which I think just makes it feel more special and homemade. So to that, I'm gonna add the milk. This is a combo of that nut milk and some half and half. I did probably about 3/4 of a cup of the nut milk and 1/4 of a cup of half and half. So I'm just gonna stir this to combine. And once it's combined, I'm gonna add in the cheese gradually. Once the milk is added, you can really see the flecks of the squash skin, which I really like. Now I'm just going to start adding the cheese gradually. You don't want to add the cheese all at once because it won't melt as nicely. So just kind of sprinkle in a little bit and stir it around till it melts, and then continue to do that until it's all melted. That will give you a silkier sauce, I find. Sauce is done. It's thickened up. You can see it doesn't thicken as much with the nut milk as it would with whole milk, but it's still good, and adjusted the seasoning a little. And now all I have to do is get a couple of big old spoonfuls, put it on that pasta, and dinner is served. I'm in Soho, just a few blocks away from McNally Jackson. I'm gonna pop in and pick up a book for the book exchange. Okay, so home sweet home again. I filmed a clip of the books I was considering for the book exchange. I didn't have that much time, so I kind of just went to American literature and pulled a few that I've read and really enjoyed. And since I only get to pick one, I went with Valley of the Dolls. It's so fun. I read this in college, and this is the 50th anniversary edition, and it's got red pages, which I thought, even if whoever gets this doesn't like the book, at least it makes great table decor. So yeah, grabbed Valley of the Dolls, and I'm back home now. I'm going to enjoy some delicious Bleecker Street pizza. Bleecker Street's my favorite. I'm gonna have a couple of slices and a glass of red wine and watch an episode of The Crown. So that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.